mhlambe makunento encane esizenzayo endlini.
Yes, Senzo used to invite him when we had some little ceremonies or things that we would have at home.
So in terms of familiarity, would I be correct to say he was just an acquaintance to you?
Uma ngingathi kuwe kwakuwumuntu nje omjwayele.
Engimazi ngokumbona yebo.
That is correct, yes.
Now, this gentleman, Mr. Gabuza, has made a statement in this matter, and I just want to read to you only one paragraph from that statement, and I just need your comment on it, correct?
Yena ke uThamsanqa Gabuza une statement ke awasenza mayelana naleqala leli ke kunomuntu nje owodwa engifisa ukuthi ngikufundele wona.
Where did he make that statement, sir?
Sorry, my lord.
Where did he make that statement? Who attested to the statement?
Go to-
Have you laid the basis for introducing that statement?
My lord,
Yebo.
it's a statement that's been discovered by us.
Yeah,
for
I don't
witness
know.
that's coming to-
Me, I don't know any statement.
Yes.
That's why I'm asking you this
Oh,
question.
indeed, sorry, my lord, it's me who didn't clarify it. It's
Yeah.
a state witness that was disclosed to us
That's
now.
it, fine. Okay.
And also it's in the list, my lord, of witness, list of
Okay,
witness
fine.
statements. May I proceed, my lord, then
Yes,
to
yes,
read
yes.
the said paragraph? It's paragraph 5 thereof, my lord, and it states, I can also state that at certain times, Senzo told me before he died that
There's a quick please, my lord. We want to object to that to this question. It's based on hearsay, and the question will be unfair. We strongly object to that.
Mr. Baloyi says you want to introduce hearsay evidence.
exception to hearsay, my lord,
Hello?
exception to hearsay.
Yeah, there is an exception. Section 3 of Act
Yes.
45 of 1988. I know all that.
Yes.
But he is saying you can't introduce that evidence because that statement says, Senzo told me that. Is that what you're saying, actually?
Indeed, my lord.
That's it. Evidence Act number 45 of 1988. How do you introduce hearsay evidence?
Sorry, my lord. before-
Yeah.
My lord, we'll mull over it. That may not be fair to the witness at this point in time.
Okay.
Now, Ms. Khumalo, you testified that you attended a session whereby you met with the sketch artist to compile the ID kit for the persons that you saw at the incident on the 26th of October 2014, correct?
Akasoze basabuza ke ngestatement kodwa ke ushilo ngobufakazi bakho ukuthi ke kukhona ke la owaya khona ke la owahlangana khona ke nomuntu owayedweba ke noma owayezodweba la okwakushiwo khona ke ukuthi ulekelele ngokudweba abantu labo othi wababona endlini ngaleli langa.
Yebo njalo.
Yes, that's correct.
And if you recall, relative to the incident happening in October 2014, when did you meet with Mrs. Warrant Officer Steenkamp?
Yena ke uwarrant officer Steenkamp lona ke kwakuyena ke owayeconductor lokho ngokumayelana nesehlakalo ke kwenzeka nini lokho ukuthi uhlangane naye uwarrant officer Steenkamp emuva kwesehlakalo.
Sathi mase siqeda ukubhala i-statement ngelanga lesibili emva kwesehlakalo, and then sasuka kuleli room le-statement sasesiswa kuleli room lokuthi sikwazi ukusiza ukudweba.
It was on the day of the making of the statements, when we were done with the making or the giving of the statements, we were then taken to this other room to go and assist with the drawing of the identity kit.
Now, with respect to meeting up with Mrs. Warrant Officer Steenkamp, the purpose thereof essentially was to compile ID kits for the persons that you say in your evidence were suspects number 1 and 2, correct?
Injongo ke yalokho ukuthi uhlangane nokuthi nihlangane naye ke u-warrant officer Steenkamp kwakuwukuthi ke kudwetshwe ke labo bantu labo othi kwakuyibona ke abangena endlini ngaleli langa ngithi.
Yebo njalo.
Yes, that's correct.
And with respect to accused number 1, suspect number 1, you've already stated the things that you added on that ID kit because other people had already done some features on the sketch, correct?
Ubusushilo-ke ukuthi kulo yoqala ushilo-ke izolo ukuthi yini owayi-eda wena-ke ngoba abanye vele babe sebeqalile angithi kulo yoqala.
Yebo njalo.
Yes, that's correct.
Now, with respect to suspect number 1, I'm not going to ask you questions because it's not my client, but regarding the second suspect, and I'm going to read, my lord, this is the statement of a warrant officer, Amanda Steenkamp of LCRC, Proteat Lane, Medan robbery. Now, I'm going to read only the aspect that touches on you regarding the second suspect. And she says, and I read, the second witness was Kelly's sister, Zandile Khumalo. That is yourself, correct?
Uthi ke laphayana owesibili ke udadebo Kelly uZandile wena lo wangithi.
Yebo njalo.
Yes, that's correct.
And then she further states, she told a similar version and gave a similar profile and facial description of suspect A. That is the first suspect that I said I'm not going to touch on.
Do you have an extra one?
Page 4.
Page 4.
At page 4.
Okay, and there?
The first paragraph is where she introduces herself, and there's the main paragraph, the third paragraph, the smaller paragraph where it starts with the second witness is, you see that, Mr. Jonas? On page 4.
Just sorting a lot, sorry. Apologies, ma'am. Yes, I can see that, sir.
Okay, let's start again. Warrant Officer Steenkamp reads this regarding the second suspect, and she says, the second witness was Kelly's sister, Zandile Khumalo. She told a similar version and gave a similar profile and facial description of suspect A. The only feature feature she adds was the eyebrows. She saw the eyebrows when suspect A lost his headgear during the scuffling with the deceased. And then the important part is that she says she could not describe the second suspect.
Akubhalile ke lana u-warrant officer Steenkamp ukuthi owesibili ufakazi kwakuZandile Khumalo washo ke noma wanikeza ke okufanayo ke futhi emchaza ke ngokufanayo nangobuso ususpect A. Futhi ke kuphela nje into awayifake kwakuyiwona ke amashiya wawabona ke amashiya uma ngabe ususpect A noma umsolwa u-A kuwa ke isigqoko sakhe ngalesikhathi ke ayelwisana ngaso nomufi akakwazanga ke noma azange akwazi ke ukuthi amchaze umsolwa wesibili. Uthi ke yiloko akubalekile akufundela kona yiloko ogcina ukuthi akazange akwazi ukuthi amchaze umsolwa wesibili.
What is your comment on that? Because the police specialist says whatever you testified in court about the features that you testified about here in court, she says you didn't describe what you say is the second suspect at the scene whom you now dog identified as accused number 2.
Manje ke ufisa ukwazi ke ukuthi uthini ke ngalokho okubhalwa la iphoyisa ke ukuthi nanjengoba lana enkantolo umchazile ke wathi u-accused number 2 wabe usumchaza ke nama features kodwa yena la akubhalile ukuthi cha akuzange kwenzeke nje ngathi owawunaye ke umlekelela ukudweba.
Engifuna ukuthi ukwazi ukuthi ngaleso sikhathi sasi under a lot of shock. Ezinye izinto zibuya emva kwesikhathi. Ingqondo iyabuya ukhumbule kancane kancane izinto zihlangana.
What I would like you to know is that under that, during that time, we were under a shock, or too much shock, and that after some time, you would then regain, in other words, you would then recall, things come back bit by bit, and you are able to recall.
Futhi njengoba sengingene la ecourt ngithema ngiphosa amehlo lapha. Umzimba wami nespirit sami konke ingqondo kwabuya kwahlala lapha.
And when I came into court, everything, my mind, my body, my spirit, just came back, and I saw him.
I hear what you're saying, but you didn't answer my question. My question is simply this. Do you admit or not that you did not tell warrant officer Steenkamp the features that you now testified about in this court as those matching the second intruder that you don't identified as the second accused?
Kodwa ke umbuzo wami wona ke awukawuphenduli, uyavuma yini noma awuvumi ukuthi kuyena ke uwarrant officer Steenkamp lama features owachazile ke la enkantolo nanjengoba umchaza ke uthi uyena ukuthi kuyena ke awuzange wachaze lawo ma features lawo.
Engicela futhi ukuthi ukwazi ukuthi ngathi mangena mina laphana ezinye izinto zaseyifakiwe already, abanye bese bebefike khona laphana. Mina ngase ngifika ngifaka lokho okunye nokunye engibona ukuthi ikona engikukhumbulayo.
The other thing that I would like you to know is that when I went into that room, the others had already given the features, so I just added that which I saw that was still outstanding.
Okwesibili futhi ukuthi bangibonisa sona isithombe sakumsolo lo. Ngasibona futhi ngakholwa ukuthi ngempela uyena.
And the other thing is that they showed me a picture or a photo of the suspect, and I was satisfied and I could see that it was him.
Ingakho futhi ngakedanga okunye elokho bese ngisho.
And which is why I did not add the other.
Ma'am, yes or no? Let's cut this chase. Yes or no? You did not give warrant officer Steenkamp those features that you testified about in court, correct?
Uyebo noma cha ukuthi lama features owachazile la enkantolo awuzange uwachaze kuyena uwarrant officer Steenkamp.
Bese kukhona ingakho ngasingazange ngisachaza.
It was already there, which is why I did not mention it or say it.
I'll take that as a no.
Ngizothi ke no law.
Kukuwena nalapha.
That's up to you.
Now, what you added with Ms. Steenkamp with respect to the second suspect was you put a mustache that you described that it runs across the mouth, both four corners of the mouth, right?
Into owayichaza ke noma owayifaka kuyena uwarrant officer Steenkamp ubushilo ke wathi ke kwaku nentshebeke eyayi jikelezile noma la emlonyeni.
And also you added only height and complexion, correct?
Wase futhi ongeza ke height yakhe kanye futhi ke nokuthi ukanjani noma ke ibala lakhe, complexion yakhe.
Yebo kunjalo.
Yes, that's correct.
And I can go to that. I didn't want to do that exercise, but I can go to that. In all the statements, if I remind you, and we can go back to that, you've never ever, to the police from the 27th of October 2017 until the 18th when you made your last statement, you made 3 statements to the police. You've never ever given them the facial features of the person that you say was the second suspect.
Kuzo zonke ke istatement ke owazenza kuze ngo2017 kwaze yoba yi18 ke la wenza khona ke istatement sakho sokugcina ke awukaze unikeze ngawona ama features, the features,
the facial features.
Okay, lama features la obusoke la owachazile kuzo zonke istatement zakho awuwachazanga.
Okokuqala istatement njengoba bese ngishilo istatement sokuqala esasenza yebo umuntu wayengaphansi kokuthuka nakho konke lokho, but esesibili i-additional statement kwakuyimbuzo uphendula umbuzo, so if lo mbuzo awufikanga kumina bengeza ukuphendula.
Firstly,
ngawutholanga lapho.
The first statement was when one was still shocked or under shock, and the second statement or the additional statement then, it was a question would be posed, and then I would then answer. If that question then never reached me, or that question was never posed to me, then I would not get to that.
I get that, but on the 27th of October 2014, when you made that statement, the police were empathizing with you and the people that were in the house. That means they were not harsh on you, correct?
Okay, 27 niggas got October.
So I don't know what the basis is for,
Let's
for
leave
the
it.
question.
I'll withdraw the question, Madam.
Akazi basaqhubeka-ke ngawo.
Then let's go to the other aspect, which is the ID parade that you identified, that you attended, I'm sorry, at GP SAPS regarding the first suspect that was arrested in this matter.
Asiyeke manje kwi-ID parade owaya kuyona-ke eyayise-GP mayela-ke nomsolwa-ke owokuqala owaboshwa-ke eboshwa kulona leli cala.
And before I even go there, let me ask you this question. The person that you allege to be the second suspect, you've never seen that person before prior to 26 October 2014, correct?
Lo muntu omchaze nanjengomsolwa wesibili-ke noma-ke omchaze nanjenga lo msolwa wesibili umuntu ongakaze wambona ngaphambi kwaleliya langa langeyi-26 ka-October 2014.
Yebo kunjalo.
That's correct.
Now, regarding, and my learned colleagues from my left will agree, and excuse me for asking this question. You've never ever attended an ID parade pertaining to accused number 1 to 5, correct?
Awukaze waya kwi-ID parade eno accused number 1 ukuyofika number 5.
Yebo kunjalo.
That's correct, yes.
And now let me quickly move to the ID parade in GP, SAPS in Joburg. That lineup had, you said yesterday, I don't want to put words into your mouth, it had many male persons on the lineup, correct?
Ushilo-ke ukuthi ushiliso lumufakazake ukuthi leyo parade leyo-ke yayinabantu besilisa-ke abaningi-ke ababemi khona lapho.
Yebo kunjalo.
That's correct, yes.
And having done that process, entered the room where the persons are lined up, you see them through a two-way mirror. You then asked, because you suspected a particular person, you then asked for that person to be brought forward closer to the mirror so that you can look at them properly, correct?
Ushilo-ke ukuthi kwakunalona-ke owawusola-ke noma-ke owawumsola noma owawumqhathanisa-ke wase ucela-ke ukuthi loyo muntu loyo-ke bamsondeze ukuthi umbonele eduze.
Yebo kunjalo.
Yes, that's correct.
Now, yesterday, your testimony was that at that identity parade, you did not identify anyone, correct?
Ushilo-ke izolo kubufakazi bakho ukuthi kuleyo ID parade akekho umuntu owamkhomba.
Cha, akekho impela engamkhomba.
No, indeed, there's no one that I identified.
My Lord, I've got in front of me an SAP 329, which is an identity,
It's what?
SAP,
Yeah, it's the parade document.
yes, yes.
I know all these things.
Yes,
So what about it?
yeah, I was just, in case my Lord will ask me where am I taking this from.
Yeah.
It serves as an exhibit, my lord.
Yeah, okay, fine.
Okay. Now, the person that conducted the ID parade says, and I'm going to quote in the results section of that document, it says, and in quotations, number 2, come to the front, closed quotations. That's what you asked for, correct?
Wabuza uthi-ke ngendlela abhale ngayo laphayana wena wacela-ke wathi number 2 akezwe phambili.
And then from
Yes.
there, it says you identified / said who was wearing a brown jacket, T-shirt, and a black jean.
On page?
Sorry, Mr. On page 3. So, Mr. Jonas. Where there's a witness, no, not page 3, sorry, Mr. Jonas. On page 4, where it says witness, Zandile Khumalo, language Zulu,
Yes,
and
yes,
all of that.
yes.
So I was reading at the 8th slag or the result section.
Just read to me, it's fine.
If I may read again, at the result section, it starts with open quotations and it says, number 2, come to the front, close quotations, and I ask the witness whether that was her request according to what's written there.
Kwakuyisicelo sakho lesi ngale ndlela ebhalwe ngaso la number 2 was phambili.
Yebo kunjalo.
Yes, that's correct.
And then now, as part of that result section, it says, you identified / said who was wearing a brown jacket, a T-shirt, and a black jean. That's what it says. So you identified somebody contrary to what you told the court yesterday.
So someone's name, /
Yes, let's
Okay.
say.
Please, I don't think it's correct. The witness did say she identified someone and said that person, who she identified as the as number 2, or was wearing the tag with number 2, had similar features as the second suspect.
Okay, I'll then leave it my note. Now, let's.
Persisting with that.
I'm not
You're
going
no
to.
longer. Okay.
Yes, I'm withdrawing that question, my lord.
Okay. But is that what the policeman wrote?
Yes.
Uyawazi amaphoyisa wethu.
Sorry, Major.
Nithi uyawazi amaphoyisa wethu.
No, I don't know.
Okay.
Now, we were at this juncture, me and you, of the dog identification of accused number 2, right? And my question was that prior to the 26th of October, you've never met him, we were past that stage, correct?
Bese sidlulile ke la uthi khona ngaphambi kwe-26 kwakumuntu ongakazi umbone.
Yebo kunjalo.
That's correct, yes.
And we've also agreed that okay, let's leave that. Now, accused number 3 was arrested on the 16th of June 2020 on this matter.
Number 3.
Accused number 2 was arrested on the 16th of June 2020 on this matter.
16
Did-
June 2020.
And he appeared in court on the 27th of October 2020.
Okay. Okwenzekayo ke lana umsolo wakhe wesibili ukuboshwa kwakhe ke eboshelwa leli cala leli waboshwa ziu-16 June 2020 wase umevele enkantolo ke wavela ngey-27 zika October 2020. Yes.
Did the police call you to come to an ID parade arranged for the purposes of identifying him?
Ingabe akufonela yini noma akubiza yini amaphoyisa ukuthi uzeke kwi-ID parade ngokuthi uzokhomba yena?
Cha.
No.
And for completeness sake, do you know whether or not the ID parade regarding specifically accused number 2, whether the ID parade was held?
Ingabe uya
No.
How would the witness know?
Let's
She
let it,
says she never attended any parade after
oh,
that.
I'll withdraw that, my lord. Now, the person that you identified as the second suspect, did that person have any special features or characteristics that were impressed on you at the scene on the 26th of October 2014?
lo muntu identified njengo suspect number 2 ingaba yini kunama features ongathi ke iwona ke awahlala ke kwena owakhumbulayo ke ngalela langa langa 26 zika October 2014.
Angikho sure ukuthi ngiyawu-understand umbuzo ngicela ukuphinde.
I'm
Did
not
he have-
sure. I think
For example, there'll be people with, like you described, the first suspect, big eyes, protruding eyes, your contours, whatever. Now, this second suspect, did he have any other features facially that were distinctive, that the last, they'll be impressed in your memory?
akubuza ukuthi angithi izolo uzokhumbula ukuthi ushilo ukuthi umchaza ama features ukuthi kwakunala amehla amakhulu aphumele ngaphandle futhi ama contours manje ubuza ngalona ke owesibili ke owamchaza nanjengo suspect wesibili ukuthi ngaleli yalanga leli umbona ngalo langa 26 ka October 2014 akhona yini ama features othi la ama features ahlala kumina angeke ngwakhohlwe ngimkhumbula ngawo.
Ngikhumbula ubuso bonke njengoba bunjalo.
I remember the
Ngikhumbule
sorry.
i-height yakhe, ngikhumbule nomzimba wakhe.
I remember the whole face as is, his height as well as his body.
Now, well, accused number 2 and the rest of his co-accused, they are arrested, but let me be specific about accused number 2. Like I say, he's arrested 16 June 2020. Did the cops, sorry to use colloquial in court, did the police come and tell you that we've arrested new suspects on that matter?
Nanjengoba bese ngishilo ke kwena ukuthi ukuboshwa kwakhe ke umanga umsolo wesibili waboshwa ziwu16 kuJune 2020. Ingabe eza kuwena yini amaphoyisa azothi sesibophe abasolwa abasha?
Cha, abezanga kumina into nje engayizwe endabeni.
No, they didn't come to me, but it's something I overheard over the news.
When did you overhear that on the news? The same month they were arrested on in October, I mean, they appeared in court. Let me phrase it this way. When did you learn about their arrest? At the time of their arrest or when they appeared for the first time in court in Boksburg?
Uma uthi ke wakuzwa endabeni wakuzwa ngaleyo nyanga leyo ababoshwa ngayo noma wakuzwa uma sebevela enkantolo eBoksburg?
Angisakhumbuli kahle kodwa khona ngiyakhumbula ukuthi ngezwa, angitshelwanga muntu.
Now, I can't remember well, but what I do recall is that I heard. No one informed me.
And now they appear for the first time in Boksburg and subsequent occasions. And I know that you follow this case religiously. When their photos were now widespread in newspapers, media, and general social media, when did you see their faces for the first time?
Base bevela ke eBoksburg njengoba eshilo ke ngoOctober nangamanye ke amalanga alandelayo ke base ke ubuso babo ke sebugcwala ke khona mabona ku TV khona emaphepheni ku social media. So uma uqala ke ukuthi ubone ke ubuso babo uqale nini ukuthi ubone ke ubuso babo noma ubone ephepheni noma ubone TV noma ubone ku social media?
Okokuqala i-TV ngiyayi-avoid, especially indaba, ngoba leli cala into engizamayo ukuthi ngikhohlwe ngayo kodwa noma isimo singiphoqa ukuthi ngikhumbule.
Firstly, I avoid the television or the TV, especially the news, because of this matter. And but although the situation necessitates me not to avoid it or to remember it, but I'm trying not to.
So ukumbona kwami okokuqala ngambona, I think mangikhumbula kahle kwakutestify uMthoko.
When I saw him for the first time, if I remember well, I think it was when Mthoko was testifying.
And I don't know when Mthoko testified because I wasn't part of this trial when it started. When you saw him then, did you then go to the police and say, the person that is now accused number 2 in that matter is the person that I believe or think was the second suspect on the 26th of October 2014 at the incident at our house.
Futhi ke aka nesiqiniseko ke sokuthi umthoko utestify nini ngoba ke bengasiyona ingxenye uma icala leli liqala. Kodwa ke uma usumbona ke manje ngalesikhathi osho uthi wambona ngaso ingabe waya yini emaphoyiseni waye watshela ke ukuthi loya engimbona nanje ngomsola noma accused number 2 yilo engikholela ukuthi ke kwakuwumsola wesibili ngaleli langa la nge-26 zika October 2014.
Into engiyaziyo ukuthi noma futhi ngangiyazi ngaleso sikhathi ukuthi liyofika usuku la ngizokwazi ukusho khona. So whether ngisho manje noma ngisho then kodwa kusalayo ngizosho.
What I know and what I knew at the time was that the day will come where I will get an opportunity to say that, whether I'm going to say it here but I will eventually say it.
Now, I'm not sure in total how many years have elapsed since October 26, 2014 to date. But in my estimation, it's nearing 9 years or just over 9 years. Will you correct me if I'm wrong?
Anginaso ke isiqiniseko kodwa ngicabanga ukuthi sekungale ku9 years noma sekusondele ku9 years ukusuka ke nge-26 ka October 2014 ukuzosho manje.
Yebo kunjalo. Sekusondele ku9 years.
That's true. It's close to 9 years.
And in that period, you'll agree with me that from 2014 October to now, the memory of the incident when it happened then and when you see him now, your memory has faded. Will you agree with me?
Uzovumelana ke noma uzovumelana nami uma ngithi ke ukusukela ngo-2014 ngo-October ka-2014 kuze kube manje ke isigameko senzeka ngaleso sikhathi ke ukuthi indlela ke yokukhumbula noma ke lokwabiza ngokuthi memory ke ukuthi ayisekho nanjenga ndlela eyayingayo noma ke isiyafade ke.
Ngithi ngiqale ngokuthi into embi yenzeka empilweni yakho, especially mina into efana nale yayiqala and engqondweni yami ayindawo.
Okay.
And ngiyakholwa ukuthi iminyakeni ezayo 20 esazolandela ngisazokhumbula.
Let me start by saying that there's something that happens, something bad that happens, and to me especially, it happened for the first time. So in my memory or in my mind, it won't go anywhere. And I also believe that in the next coming 20 years, that I will still be able to recall it.
Now, finally, with respect to the versions of accused number 1 and 2 and their instructions to me are as follows.
Engitshelwa ke ilaba ababili ke noma abakushoyo kumina ke laba ababili engibamele ke umsola wokuqala nowesibili iloko kulandelayo.
My Lord, before I go there, I see accused number 1 is raising his hand. May I approach?
Yeah, I can approach.
My Lord, my colleague here says it's China time for lunch at the moment.
What's the time now?
It's exactly 1, my Lord.
Ale?
It's 1 o'clock, my Lord.
Mr. Valoy, should we adjourn? And when do we come back? 2 o'clock. Okay, we'll adjourn until 2.